Hi, we're Kaylee and Lindy. Almost a decade ago now, we started on a journey to become more self-sufficient and really started our homesteading journey. We've learned how to grow our own food and preserve that food, how to raise a variety of different animals, how to use our resources more wisely, and we've built everything from little itty bitty things all the way up to hay barns.
Yes, and we've done all of that with no real equipment or proper tools. We're pretty good about just getting by with what we have, but due to the inevitable aging and some fairly big health stuff that we've been dealing with for the last little bit, it is time that we actually brought in some proper equipment to get the job done.
Yeah, so we've largely done everything by hand with our own tiny little muscles, but
tiny.
that is all about to change.
Yes.
I believe we're wild and free. I feel so alive, so alive. Suddenly I'm seeing everything so different. Like I'm looking at the world through a brand new lens. Every shade of green and blue, and it's all because of you. I'm seeing everything. You make me wanna celebrate, celebrate, celebrate. Tonight, like a picture that I've painted in my wildest dreams, came to life in every feeling that you gave to me. Found a story that we saw. Every moment is a song. I'm hearing everything. You make me wanna celebrate.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys.
Okay, so what's happening today, Lindy?
Is it bad that the only thing I'm focused on right now is backing into that trailer? We're adding something to the family.
Yes, we have a new addition coming that we're going to go pick up today.
What are we gonna name it?
I don't know. What
Is it a
should
girl
we
or a
name
boy?
it?
Do we know?
I think it's gonna be a girl, but I won't know its energy until I meet it, you know?
That's fair. That's fair. Anyway, it's gonna be a little bit different today. We're gonna go get a hitch for the truck, and then go grab a trailer, and then go grab a
Tractor!
bug.
We are getting a tractor for our homestead, but not just any tractor. This is a special tractor. We have got to get going though. So we're gonna get on the road and go get it picked up, and then we can show you guys all the bells and whistles it's got.
Yeah, it'll be really fun. I'm excited for you guys to see it. It's not common, and so
No.
I think you guys will be a little surprised.
Yeah, so let's get going.
How do you get it to just roll? Yep, that's what it was.
Neutral to roll it, okay.
Pretty sick setup.
Okay, so we're gonna go drop off the trailer real quick so that we don't have to worry about that, and then when we get back, we'll show you the cool new toys. Good morning. Okay, we didn't show off the tractor yesterday.
Nope.
Okay, so what happened was it got late and hot, and by the time we dropped off the trailer, I hadn't eaten. I was getting hangry, so we grabbed some food, and by the time we got back, it was like 2:33ish. Lindy was super hot, and well,
Thanks, man.
obviously, no, temperature wise,
Appreciate it. My work here is done.
done. No, as in like, you know, it's hard for her to get enough water now, so we had to like stop and do water because she has to basically like switch out her bag so she
It's
can
cumbersome.
do water instead of food.
Anyway, guys, we just didn't show you the tractor.
So we took the rest of the day off and just kind of laid in bed. But we did go out last night and played with it a little bit once the sun went down. We went for a nice sunset tractor ride to unload some hay out of the truck.
It was really cool, actually.
It was cool.
It's a legit little thing. We're excited to actually show you guys. We're not apologizing about yesterday because we still got a lot done. But we'll make sure that we let you guys kind of in on our newest addition and the... what are you doing to that baby? I know, much picking
Doesn't
on
mind.
you.
She loves it. It's
Ooh.
attention. She doesn't care. Don't knock over the
Sweet
camera.
girl. So yeah, we'll let you know. We've got quite a few things that we're gonna get done today. Harvesting is the top of the list, so we'll get to hang out with you guys a lot today.
Since it's going to be another hot day today, we are going to kind of do the more labor-intensive tasks this morning while it's still a little bit cooler. And we're getting kind of a late start because, again, like, we had to get water into Lindy proactively today. So that took a little extra time this morning, but I was watering the garden while she was watering herself.
It's a funny way to put that.
I watered the garden and my wife.
Good job.
All in the morning's
Multitasking.
work. Yeah, so we're going to try and get the like more labor intensive jobs out of the way this morning, and then kind of shift into preserving the food, playing with the tractor, all of that stuff.
Let's try something. Let's say what we want to accomplish today, so when we get to the end of the day, we can let you know how we did. In my brain, we have compost,
Okay.
harvesting, which are
Okay.
potatoes, rhubarb. There was one other thing, garlic.
Garlic.
Ooh, garlic. We're so behind.
The garlic is bad. That's gonna be first.
And then I need
Apples.
to get. Oh, and apples. Yep.
And then that means preserving the rhubarb and the apples.
Yes. And then I need to finish the drawers for our downstairs kitchen unit
Yeah.
because I made it bare metal and it exposed it. So the rust is starting to show up because it's like humid.
We're trying to start finishing up projects. We just got so behind with like Lindy's health getting like out of whack and everything. We just got so behind on everything.
Well,
So
it's not just projects, right? So
Right.
it was just the maintenance. So
Yeah.
we do feel a lot better.
yeah, we're getting there. We're like right on the cusp, but we still have those things like the garlic that should have been harvested over a month ago.
but we
you know
lost a
what?
whole month.
It is what it is. Oh, but you should show them the downspout.
Guys, I did it. I finished it.
Yes. Okay, so we did get this finished. Let me turn you around.
I haven't cleaned it up like with the chunks of concrete on the floor or on the ground or whatever, but it went from this. Hold on, I'll model it for you.
Yeah.
So it's straight up with this.
Yep.
So now it's leaves, and I actually am kind of proud of it.
They look really good. Hold on, we should get some water and demonstrate it. So for those of you that didn't see the earlier vlog that we posted, we basically created these out of concrete and rhubarb leaves. And it's just a really fun way to use every bit of your harvest. And you know, normally the leaves get composted, but this gives them a second life. So now we get to have our rhubarb leaves here forever.
Pretend I'm rain.
It turned out really cool.
I'm really proud of it.
We need to start some more projects. So I'm gonna get out in the garden and start harvesting. Lindy's gonna start tending compost. And yeah, we're gonna get this day started. So I don't think it matters like how many years I garden. Every year when it gets to this stage and it starts just bursting, I don't know, it's amazing. Like, it's always amazing. It always takes my breath away. I mean, just like, look at this. Like, none of this was even here a few years ago. Like, we started this garden in 2020 with just a few of these raised beds over here. We started sheet mulching this area that fall, and it's crazy to me. I don't think it'll ever get boring, no matter how many years I do this. I'm always so grateful and so humbled by the whole process, and it's so beautiful. Like, it's hard to explain like the beauty of it and how much peace it gives you when you're out here. But the main garden, which are our raised beds behind us, so this garden space is primarily now being used for our like spring and fall crops. So a lot of them have bolted, which means that they've gone to flower. So that's why they look big and scraggly. They're putting on seed heads, which we collect a lot of seeds. So it's really important to us that that process happens and that we have the space for it. So I have been collecting seeds this week, and I'll have some new tutorials to show you coming soon, about how to save some different varieties of seeds. And then the bag bed garden, as Lindy likes to call it over here, that we put in this year, is now our primary spot for all of our summer crops. And it has filled in and done so amazingly well. It's crazy because like the peppers and eggplants and tomatoes I have in here are about twice the size of the ones in the regular garden. So I do think that the black bags have made a difference and are really doubling our impact in being able to grow hot crops even in this cooler region. Pumpkins and flowers behind us, gorgeous, love it so much. But today my main priority is getting the garlic out, because the garlic should have been harvested over a month ago. It is so far overdue for being harvested, and now a lot of these plants are just taking up the space of what I need to plant for fall, because really the fall garden starts midsummer. So I need to get seeds in the ground for the fall garden so that we can be harvesting them before our really extreme cold weather comes. Garlic harvest is always exciting, so I'm gonna get it going. So I was going along harvesting the garlic and watering the garden, and then all of a sudden there was just no water from the hose, and my little thing broke. So this is like the little end piece, and it has like the little shut off so I can like turn it off in between. So I took the whole thing apart and was trying to like fix it, and I spent way too long fixing it, and I didn't fix it, and then I started spiraling, and long story short, we had to go buy a new adapter, so we bought these new brass shutoffs, but this one is now hooked to the hose. Like, it's so stuck we can't get it off, so we're having to put a whole new end adapter.
So there's a balance that at times we're still learning about, when you just fix something and when you have to just bite the bullet and get a new something. And when the something's like $7, just go get the
I just wanted to fix it. Yeah, and it's literally now ate up, like, I don't know.
I finished the compost, guys.
Yeah, and I harvested 2 beds of garlic, which, to be fair, I don't have much left, but like the fact that the water, like the garden isn't finished being watered yet, and I started it at what, 8 o'clock this morning. It's just really frustrating sometimes. It just feels like something's always breaking.
Done.
And look at that. Water, it's working again. So, moral of the story, go buy yourself a nice coffee if you're having a rough afternoon. Okay, back to harvesting. Okay, so I just finished the garlic. Woohoo! So a whole wheelbarrow load. It's actually more than I thought we were gonna get, because I didn't plant it very well. By the time fall came last year, I was not very focused. So it is what it is. So what happens when you harvest your garlic late, so it should look like this basically, where the heads are still nice and tight. All of the cloves in the head are tight together. They have that little wrap, that like papery wrapping on them. And what happens over time as they sit in the ground for longer than they should is this happens. So the cloves actually begin to separate off of the head because that plant is getting ready to reproduce, and each one of those is going to become a new plant. So that papery, Lindy, oh, yeah, so the longer you leave in the ground, like this is why you're supposed to harvest it when it's still semi-green. See how this is completely dried back? So this plant has drained all of its energy into the root, and it's now preparing to make new baby garlics from all of these cloves. So that papery lining becomes really thin, and it starts basically spreading out a little bit. It'll still kind of stay clumped together, but you'll see these cloves become more and more individual and start pushing away from the head. And so it's not as good for storage that way. So some of these, especially these larger varieties, aren't going to last as long in shelf storage. Like they'll still last a decent amount of time, but we're going to need to use a lot of them sooner than we normally would. I'll probably end up either drying them for garlic powder, or we'll roast them and then make garlic paste out of them, which we can freeze. So what I'm going to do now is take all of this over, let it continue curing. You want to put it in like a shady spot where it still gets really good airflow. So we actually have a curing table down in our little basement area. So I'll go show you that. So once it's dried for a couple of weeks, we'll clean up all of these little hairs. We'll cut off the stalk about 4 to 5 inches up, and then it'll be ready to store. Let's take our little wagon of garlic.
Mush, mush, mush.
I'm trying. All right, so down here under our deck, so if you saw one of our earlier vlogs, we explained how this deck is actually built over the basement walkout, but the deck lifts. It's really cool. So we built a curing table down here for our garlic. So I'm gonna climb down here and
Guys,
show you.
excuse the mess. I didn't
Lindy,
finish cleaning.
you were supposed to clean those before I had to put my garlic down here.
But I didn't.
Nailed it. Okay, so this is the basement walkout here. We're underneath the deck. Kind of cool. And it is so nice and cool down here, but it still gets really good airflow. So we have our little curing table back here that we just built for this purpose. It's a pretty cool setup. So we're gonna lay out the garlic on here, let it finish curing, and then it'll be ready for storage.
We should build a fort.
All right, look at that beautiful garlic harvest. So we'll let them sit there for a couple of weeks to finish curing, and then they can go into storage. But not bad, actually. I'm impressed. Okay, folks, it's time to meet the tractor. First of all, aren't the horses supposed to be the tractor?
Yes.
However, we have learned some things, like nobody sells equipment for draft horses in the Pacific Northwest.
And we need equipment that Kaylee is comfortable running by herself.
Yeah, so the horses definitely still take a lot of energy and a lot of strength. Whether it's the ponies or the big horses, we still do plan to use the horses whenever we can. But we have been running into those issues with the equipment, and then just like the amount of like time and strength that it takes to hook them up. So we needed something kind of that would give us that advantage without us having to use extra energy. So the idea is that it takes less energy and we're still able to do the things that we want to do without expending all of our energy.
Yep. And again, something that Kay can use if I'm at the office.
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm not hooking the horses up alone. That's just not even safe.
We had this ordered way before all of my health stuff back in June. It just took a minute for it to all get here because it's from where?
So the tractors are made in Italy, and there were certain parts that they didn't actually have in stock in the US. And actually, we're still waiting on one attachment piece to come in, which has to be like freighted in from Italy. So it's pretty cool. So they're from BCS. So that's the American dealer of the tractors. And they're actually located in Oregon, so not far from us. And we were lucky to have a dealer who sells them only about 40 minutes from where we are. Huge shout out to the Power Shop.
Yes.
Jared, our go-to guy. He was amazing through this whole process. Like, he answered all of my questions and
super informative.
Yep.
Not like he didn't make you feel uncomfortable if you didn't know something, like just super easy to work with.
Yeah, exactly. Like nothing was mansplained to me, which was amazing.
Yeah.
And it was just really nice because I was able to be like, okay, we want to do this with it. And then he would make suggestions, but like totally giving us the time to like talk it over and decide what we actually wanted to do. So we're really happy with the model that we got, which is a 739.
This model is about the middle. It's the lowest to where you could actually get any attachment that we want. The biggest thing that this one had than the one that we were looking at was the different speeds. It has 3 speeds, which is really nice.
So it doesn't have the locked, yeah, exactly. It's able to just be a little bit more accessible. We had looked at, small, like the Kubota style tractors. We had looked at just like riding lawnmowers with carts on the back and things like that. And there were several reasons that we actually chose these lovely tractors.
Reason 1, they're small. We can store it anywhere. Reason 2, they're small and they can go anywhere.
Yes, like this little thing can zip around and get in places that a big tractor can't, which is huge for a small homestead like ours.
And it's a proper tractor, meaning you can have powered attachments. So mowers, harrows, plows, pressure washer, I mean kind of everything.
Yeah, they have even like a log splitter. So that's one of the things that we really loved is that there are a million different attachments. Whereas if we had just gotten a riding lawnmower, you can't have powered attachments with that.
It just pulls things.
Yeah, exactly. So with this, there are so many attachments that we can build on over time. And then the price was another big reason that we went with this. Like the entry level price for this and all the attachments is basically like the price of an attachment for a regular tractor. So it just makes it super functional and just a really, overall, it seemed like a very smart choice for us because of our homestead size, what we're doing with it. It would be really good too for like market gardeners, small homesteaders, small farmers, small acreage, hobby farmers, things like that. I don't know why they're not more popular. Yeah, and they run forever. They're not like computerized like a lot of the tractors are nowadays. Everything I've read, like people say they last forever. Show them how it works.
Okay, so there's 3 positions that the handlebars can go in. So it'll lock in this position.
And so for a lot of the attachments, you can actually walk to the side while you're pushing it. So if you're doing like garden rows and things like that, you're not walking in your row or trying to walk over the top of your row. So she's unhooking. That's like the gear shifter and the PTO. And then this whole thing freaking turns around, locks back into place on this side.
So we have it going from this direction when we're using other attachments like lawnmower, the blade.
Yep, and this is a quick attachment. So this was something extra that we also got where this is a quick attachment piece. So basically we can just plug and play. We don't have to, we just literally drop the attachments in there, lock it in, and that's it. We're ready to go.
So that was pretty slick. This allows you to raise the handlebars up or down.
Yep, so again, if you're like plowing or using it for something like that and you want to really have like your weight on it from up above, you can adjust it. Or just, if you're a bigger person or a smaller person, I love that it's adjustable. So then obviously the hitch also can drop, and I am so excited. I'm so sad that we moved all those loads of soil and all those loads of mulch without this.
Yeah.
But don't worry, there'll be many more. So that's obviously the dump trailer, and then we also got the lawnmower attachment, which is pretty cool. There's also like a flail mower, there's a brush cutter, I mean everything that you could ever use. But we started out with the lawnmower because, as you saw in an earlier vlog, we've hand pushed mowing this whole property, which has what, at least an acre of lawn. It's ridiculous. And then we also got a mowing sulky, and that's the one that's on back order. So it basically turns it into a riding lawnmower. So there's the mowing attachment. So again, it just plugs in right there, and it's got the bag on it. If we want though, we can also take off the bag and it can just be a mulch and it'll just shoot out. So looking forward to this when leaf season comes, and we can just pick up all the leaves and easily collect them. And then we have the dozer blade attachment, which is going to be amazing for grading this driveway and redoing it. And then also when we're doing all of the horse corrals, the arena, everything like that. Let's hook up the dozer blade and see. So with the dozer blade, you can either push it or pull it depending on, you know, how much torque you're needing. So that's kind of nice.
I'm tired.
Well, you don't have to plow the whole driveway. We are going to call it a night. It's been a big day. We got a lot done. But we just wanted to show you the tractor. We're so excited about it. It's going to be a good addition to the homestead. Yeah, for sure.
Solid investment.
We will definitely post more about it, and I'm sure you'll see us using it a ton. But I'll go ahead and put the link down below to the website for BCS America, which is the company that makes it. And if you have any questions, let us know. We'll do our best to answer them. Again, we just got it. We're just learning how to use it, so it's still very new to us, but we'll definitely post more as time goes on.
For sure. All right. See you guys next week.
See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.